where you gotta move in silence. The biggest mistake I made in 2022 through 2024, when God was taking me to a whole nother level, was that I assumed people would be happy for me. Your progress exposes their insecurities. This is why you got enemies that you don't even know about. This is why you find out people didn't like you for years and you can't even figure out what you did to them. I'm at that point in my life. I've been trying my best to make friends, trying to help certain people, trying to do certain things, and I've been trying to figure out what did I do to some of these people, and I figured it out. I won. There are certain people who like you long as you under them. But when God starts elevating you, I'm not saying that I'm all that. It's just certain people that like you better where they found you. Michael! Nehemiah was working quietly, but the moment his plans were known, his enemies arose. Not everyone can handle your next level. Some people like you better broken.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Anthony Brown Show, this segment that we call the ATL Family and Friends Show. I'm yours truly, Mr. Anthony Brown, coming at you always loud, live, and forever in color. I know. Listen, I'm joined tonight by none other than my brother from another, Mr. Shorty Thickums. Mr. will beat you and you up, okay, at the drop of a dime. But I love him. He said I get on his pain in his back or whatever. But nevertheless, I'm joined by none other than Mr. Legacy the Great.
ATL is this bitch. What it do, baby? What it be?
What's going on, dude?
Just chilling. Just got through getting myself together. Came in from work, and now I'm just chilling. About to introduce myself. Huh?
How was work?
It was good. It was good. How was your day?
My day was interesting. I had a couple of customers. Not too busy, but a couple of customers. It was steady.
What up? They say steady rocking all night long. That's what they said now. That's what them folks said.
Okay, them folks.
Yeah, that's what they said. I'm with it though.
I know that's right. What you got going on? A discotheque in the background, the flashing lights?
Oh, let me see. I don't know. I don't really know. Let me see. I be having so many different things because I like to give shows sometimes.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, sometimes you got a peekaboo.
That's a light you put on when you're over there digging for gold. when you in that thing.
I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that.
You don't dig for gold?
I retired from whorism.
I didn't say anything about whorism. That's where your mind went.
I'm just saying I don't dig for gold. I used to dig for oil too.
You can be in a relationship and dig for gold.
That is true, but at this moment I'm at a focus level. So since mine ain't here with me, you know what I'm saying? So, you don't dig for gold when yours ain't here with you.
But the point I was making, that's the light you put on when you dig for gold.
I got another light for that.
Okay, I understand. No problem. I see, said the blind man.
Now that oh man.
Give me one moment here. Hold on.
We all got that one friend that be speaking their mind. They be saying real shit, but always pick the wrong time. That friend that got your back and never leave you behind. And ready to catch a case if people get out of line. You know, that friend that's patiently waiting to do a background check on whoever you date. That friend who tell you the truth when you don't really want to hear it, but they know you need to hear it because it's good for your spirit. That friend that crack jokes when you go through heartbreak, not because they being mean, but because cause they relate. And when they call, y'all be talking on the phone for hours. Gotta charge up your phone to make sure it got power. And they said they was going to sleep, but then not. Incoming texts, send you videos to watch. That friend that make you laugh when your day really sucks. And when you need the words, they start building you up. That's a real friend, yeah, that's a real friend. That's a real friend, yeah, that's a real friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That was us all in a bowl, baby.
Yes. They broke it down.
Yeah. You got all of them. I got all of them too.
Okay. You better believe it.
Yeah. Yep.
Hold on. There we is. There we be. Listen, I got 5 or 6 would you rather questions. I was hoping the other crew would have joined us so that they too can partake in the questioning of the would you rathers. But those heifers ain't here.
Hold on. Watch your tone and your mouth. Watch your tone and watch your mouth.
Those ain't here.
Watch your motherfucking tone and your motherfucking mouth.
I said they ain't here. Those ain't here.
But you said the H word the first time.
The heifers,
Watch your tone and
like I
your
said,
and your
look, you ain't nothing but 4 foot tall, so ain't nobody
and I
scared of you.
but I make your mouth bleed.
You can't reach it.
I know how to break you down to where I can.
I said, how you gonna do that?
You know them knees bad. I push your ass down to the ground.
Oh Lord, don't
And,
do it. So don't do it, Hoppo. Please don't do it, Hoppo. All my life I had to fight. Oh, don't do it. Yes,
yeah, but you don't want to do that, but send me to jail because you're gonna call them talking about I'm assaulting the elderly.
yes. I'm definitely calling 911. And when the police get here, I'm gonna say, do do.
Who? Who?
Yeah.
I'll be on call Darren. Darren, you gonna have to come on and come get me. You gonna have to come get me. And you better be with him to come get me.
I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be like, I told you so.
Now get your ass in the car.
And don't do that shit no more. What's up, DP? DP, are you with me?
Oh yeah, I'm here for a little bit on the beat.
Where you at, DP? You at
I
a
am
convention
in
again?
the heart of Kentucky right now.
What would
Must
that
be
be? Louisville?
Well, Kentucky, Indiana, Kentucky, Indiana. Yeah,
Kate.
Kentucky, Indiana. That's 2
yeah.
different states.
welcome,
Where
Closer,
you
Juicy.
are?
closer to the border.
Gotcha. I might be seeing you. I can swing by and say hi to you.
Where you at, girl?
Hey, everybody.
Kate.
Welcome.
Where we at?
Listen. Yes,
She
where
don't
you at,
Oh
talk.
no,
Juicy?
I'm
She,
in
she,
DC still. Still in DC.
Oh, got you. Never mind.
No, but I gotta travel soon. That's why I was saying it.
You got on your Juicy, you got on your Omega 5 side Q Dog colors. The purple.
I'm actually matching my commander's hat.
they were pretty good last year. They were pretty good.
Yes, we did it, and just wait for this season.
Yeah, y'all got a few. If Debo Samuel can stay healthy, y'all might have a chance.
We got a
Listen,
chance.
Donovan, before you leave, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
And the other crew as well. Would you rather have an endless supply of money or infinite supply of time?
Endless
Hmm.
supply of time. Because if you don't have an endless supply of time, it doesn't matter how much money you have.
Hey, Don Allen.
Hey, Don Allen.
Hey, Donna, how you doing?
What's up, Don Allen?
So, Juicy, how would you answer that? Would you rather have an endless supply of money or an infinite supply of time? Juicy?
We can't hear you, Kate.
I want an endless supply of time.
I think I would rather have the endless supply of
Hold
time.
on. Are you gonna ask me?
I'm just, you can answer after me?
No, you the moderator. You the moderator answer after everybody else gave their opinion.
You're not
We
gonna correct
saving
me
the
on. You're
best
not
for
gonna correct me
last.
on the show.
You right. You right. My bad, sir. I don't wanna get in trouble.
Don Allen said he'd rather have an endless supply of money.
I
Money. Wait, you mean time as far as time alive? I thought you meant time is like time to do things.
Time alive.
well, I mean that would be time alive.
Yeah, but that don't mean you're gonna outlive. So that mean
Yeah,
you
because
ain't.
If
That means you're
no, cause
immortal.
it
everybody
may
no, that means
it may take you
everybody
200
else
years to do
don't
something.
have it. Right.
Yeah, it may
Everybody
take
else
it.
don't have endless time. So eventually you are going to outlive. If you ever remember the Green Mile, remember the man watching the
Hey,
Amos
Veronica.
Banks. Remember the dude that got the jolt from the big dude from the Green Mile, that old man when Tom Hanks shook
Yeah.
his hand and he got that it seemed like endless time of supply of life at the end where he had to outlive his wife, his children, his friends, and was outliving a lot more people in the nursing home. I'm like Don Allen. I would love to have a
What's up,
Cleveland
Cleveland?
Smith. I
Big
would love to
dog.
have
Are
a endless supply of money because I truthfully wouldn't want to live to see everything that goes on this earth. You talking about somebody? Let's say you embark that journey from slavery. Now you do not live slavery, Jim Crow laws, redlining, everything, and it seems to keep constantly getting worse. So, how you doing, Ms. Veronica? Why would I want to have endless time? If I'm steady seeing that type of shit and no change, that means I'm gonna endure everything, not only that were good, but everything that's bad as well. So, sometimes, it's just best to just get on before you get spit on.
here's one. Would you rather trade places with a celebrity for one day or win the lottery?
That's
Don Allen,
somebody need to mute.
You have feedback.
Uh, I definitely would love to have win the lottery. Don't give a damn about being famous.
I said I'd rather win the lottery because if I win the lottery, I'm gonna be famous.
Well, I would rather win the lottery than to be famous because being famous doesn't make you
Doesn't make
anything
you rich.
except famous.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm Lotto. Big Lotto.
yeah, you can do more things with money than being famous. But you
One
can
thing,
do more. You can do more with your time than money. So you
but
can
I ain't
get.
try, but I ain't trying to be here forever. I don't want to be here forever. I want to be able to take the money to be
We didn't
able to
say
get
we didn't say forever. We just said. See, what you're saying is
what
forever.
what the right. That's
We're
what
not saying
endless
that.
means. Yes, that's what he means. That's endless.
He
No,
didn't say endless time.
this is a different question. Would you rather
Yeah,
trade
this is a
places
different question.
with a celebrity for one day or win the lottery?
I would
Win the
love.
lottery.
rather win the lottery. I rather win the lottery
Yeah,
because
there's
Because
no need to
with the
change
money,
places.
Yeah, I don't need to change places with nobody because I'm already in my head. I'm already a superstar, so I don't
That's
need.
right.
I
And then
don't.
if I'm not, look, if I'm not, once I win the lottery, I'm gonna become.
You
Thank
better
you,
believe it.
because I
I'm
have
gonna
enough
give.
money to. I have enough money to put myself out there.
Hey, Austin.
What they do?
Hey,
What they do?
hey, ATL family, I missed y'all.
What they
What's
do,
up,
Don Allen?
Austin?
I've been busy. I miss y'all. I'm
I was
at
about to
church
say
right
we've
now.
been here for about 3 weeks now.
I've been at church every time y'all get on. I be at church. I'm at church right now.
Talk,
Just and
talk your stuff. Talk your stuff. Tell them.
I'm at church right now. We in a revival. I'm just waiting till
Austin.
time to go back up and sing again. Yeah.
Hold on, Austin. Would you answer the question? Would you rather trade places with a celebrity for one day or win the lottery? Cleveland, answer the question. And Veronica said win. Oh, that was
He,
the last
he's,
question she answered.
he must
So
have went already back in for revival or singing.
Oh
Uh-uh.
no, they got Don Allen right there, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm in revival too. I'm just waiting for them to tell us it's time to go back to sing and praise team. I'm just out in the lobby.
Next question. Would you rather have an unlimited supply of chocolate or an endless supply of French fries?
French fry me, please. Crinkle cut and make sure
Yep.
bud. They have to be buds crinkle cut fries. Hallelujah.
Yep.
Thank you, Jesus.
I'm gonna say chocolate because chocolate can be used as medicine, and I'm gonna need something to keep me here in my endless amount of time on Earth.
Yep. I'm gonna have to say French fries, okay? Because I hate chocolate. I got enough in me.
Right, right. And you know
You
what?
say
I
you
agree with
like
you. I agree with you because I hate chocolate too. It's disgusting to me. If it ain't white chocolate, I don't eat it. But so yeah, French fries and like I said, buds. They have to be buds, crinkle cut fries, and some tartar sauce to dip it in. And they tartar sauce
Say
to
that
dip it
again.
in.
Yuck.
French fries and tartar sauce.
I would say
Okay.
I would say the French fries, but chocolate is the turtles. Turtles or Snickers.
Yeah, I love me some turtles.
Okay.
Somebody's extra loud.
Oh, it's probably me. I'm sorry.
Next
I'm gonna have
one.
to go. Hold on, go ahead, Tony. Go.
Oh, you didn't answer?
No, I didn't get that, but it's okay.
You don't answer.
I'm gonna definitely have to go with chocolate, even though I love the same French fries that Don Allen's talking about. But I'm going with the chocolate because eventually you're gonna clog up your arteries and kick the bucket from eating all that goddamn French fry.
Right.
What's
And
up,
you're
Doc?
gonna have diabetes
What if you air
because
Yeah,
fry
that
them?
starch gonna turn to
If you
sugar.
if you air fry them or you put them in the oven?
Will
It
said.
doesn't matter because potatoes, when they're brown, they create a gas that is poisonous to us. We should not be eating cooked potatoes like
Will,
that.
Will
We
say,
should
give him
boil
his
them.
damn chocolate.
I knew Will ass was gonna say something like that.
Veronica
Because you
said,
can
neither.
have chocolate in so many ways.
Hold on, Kate. Go ahead, Tony.
Veronica said, neither. But my choice will be French fries.
Mm.
Will said fact.
Hmm.
He
I
said,
can't wait to get back home and get some Bud's French fries. Oh yes, Lord, I can't wait till I come back home.
Would you rather always be 10 minutes early or 15 minutes late?
late.
10 minutes early. I'm always early anyway when I go anywhere. So
I
I
think it
was I was
depends
early
on.
tonight.
I think it depends on the event that I'm going to. Um, early for job. But if it's like a party or something, I want to make my entry, and I'm gonna be 15 minutes late.
Yeah. I'm like that too when it comes to I want to make my entrance. Not necessarily I want to make an entrance for the party, but I don't want to be the first one there because then they might ask me to help set up. Lord, I can't have a good time. Oh no.
That girl, Cake. Yes, that's Cake. Cake, we throwing a party. I need your ass here early.
Listen, if you tell me the wrong time, I might be there early. But other than that, I was raised late. The only
Yeah.
early I ever came was born early. I was doing my mama's birthday and I came on Valentine's Day. But that was just because I needed to give both my parents love, not just my
Donovan,
mom.
answer that one. Donovan, he over there evangelizing.
Mm. Go ahead to the next, Tony.
You want me to stop anywhere? So while we get him, he's getting that thing together. I want to go back to that first question he asked when he spoke about endless time. I wasn't seeing it as endless time alive. I felt he meant that like you won't be late. You got time to do what you need to do. We
Oh
still
my
gonna
God.
expire, but I just got time to get all my tasks. Like 24 hours in a day, I could say, today I need 32. And then tomorrow I can say I only need 15. I felt that's how I could be. And that's the type of endless I want to be able to use it the way I need to, not time stop, and start
Yeah,
another day. That's what I mean.
yeah.
Because
It's
I know I want to
time is
have
on your
endless
side.
time.
So if it took you 900 years to complete something, you have 900 years to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's what
people
that's.
gonna be with me for 900 years too. I ain't about to outlive and be the only one here talking about, oh God,
You
now I
might
gotta make sand people.
you will outlive a generation, but then a new generation will be here.
She don't know none of them.
I
She'll know
know
them
them. They gonna
because
be my
they'll be
grandbabies.
born during her time. She's still here. They'll be born during her time, so she will know them.
Yeah.
She'll just be the wiser of the bunch.
They'll
But that
call
would
her
be pretty
goddess.
cool to be able to tell. Right. That's what I'm about to say. To be the God.
How did you know
I'll
all
tell
of that?
y'all what happened.
Okay. Next one. Would you rather be invisible or be able to read people's minds?
Hmm.
now, when if it's being invisible all the time, or when I
No,
want to be,
when you want to be.
I would prefer to be invisible all. I mean, when I want to be, because that'll be so much easier to actually go in and uh, kill people that's in higher positions and get them out the way because they causing too much problems in the United States. It'd be easy to go inside the bank and take my money out that I want to take out and create the
Look,
new
call
generational
the
wealth.
name out.
No, I
Don't just
can't
say
call the
people,
name
call the
because
name out.
Don't do that.
no, 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 no. These people, that's called a terroristic threat.
Right?
I know
And the
I'm
U.S.
being
Marshals,
funny. I was
I
never.
know, I know, Don Allen, but definitely invisible for me because I can be invisible at the time I want to.
I would say
Invisible or reading people's mind. That's what you said, right?
correct.
Okay. Go
Which would
ahead.
you
You were about
rather?
to say. Oh, I
Which
thought
would
you
you
It's
were
your
rather?
turn, Kate.
I'd rather be invisible. No, read people mind because of the fact of Tony, I'm not a great judge of character, and people be
At all.
saying that they have good intentions towards me, and I would love to be able to read their thoughts and be like, if they sitting up there, oh, I love you, and then in their mind they talking about, I can't stand him. I'll be like, okay, all right, have a good day, all right, be blessed. Like, what's wrong? Nothing at all. Just walk off. Be like, what? Nothing. And in my mind, I'm like, I read your thoughts. That's why. And your thoughts told me otherwise. So I'm finna go. Bye. I
But
need that. I
the
really
funny
need
thing
that.
about that, the funny thing, Miss Veronica says reading people's mind. But the funny thing about being able to read people's mind is you will be able to freak people out more by being able to tell them, you said you love me, but I just felt and know that you in your mind you said you can't stand me. That would freak people out so much for you to be able to call
It
them
would.
out on what it is that they said.
Hmm.
Then you keeping it inside of you, you'll be doing the same thing that you do now. So you would have to expose them so that they can know this motherfucker know what I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I would also love the mind reading the mind because let's say somebody's speaking in a different language and I don't understand their language, I would be able to love to be able to read their mind in English. So if they
Will
talking
say,
about me,
hold on with Don Allen. Will say I can already see through people, so I want to go invisible.
Yeah, that's what I
I
was
agree.
about to say too.
I agree with you on that too, Will, because I mean, if you just try to be able to discern or get a real feeling of how a person is, you wouldn't have to be able to read people's minds because you'll be able to read people's actions.
Exactly.
Right.
I would say I'd rather do the invisible thing because, I, like I said, I have a good sense of reading people already. And then secondly, if I'm able to go invisible, eventually you'll show me who you are, and I'll see it. So
Hmm.
I could be standing next to you, and the truth is going to come out. Especially, let's say, if two people, a real friend and the fake friend, is talking with each other, the fake friend is going to reveal himself to the other person because I'm not. They think I'm not there, and I'll hear it.
Hmm. Right.
So I would
And
like.
you
all right,
going in the bank.
all right, y'all. All right, y'all. I love y'all. The pastor's wrapping up. I gotta go get my microphone and get back on the
Have a
stage.
good
Get
night.
back in the
Okay.
praise
Have
team.
a good
Good
night.
night.
Good luck. Good luck. And you
So,
going in the bank.
so
Huh?
for me,
Hold on,
I
okay.
was
And you
in,
going in the bank.
No.
yeah.
I bring. Tony, did you hear Juicy? What
I'm
I
going
said?
Yeah.
everywhere.
Tony,
Just,
are you
just,
going in the bank? You
just
talk
was
about
like,
some no,
yeah.
she talk about some yeah. What else would I?
She sounded
Why
like she
else would
sounded.
I be invisible?
She sounded like a hell yeah.
Yes. I'm going everywhere. No, but I was gonna
Yes.
say in Kabbalah they say that the mind, the mind is the soul, and you can have about five different entities, like mind souls living up in there. So you don't know what that mind might be. Who could be saying? So you think things that don't necessarily be what's real. Actions speak louder than words. I want to see. I'm like, I want to be invisible. I'm a creep. I'm gonna come and see things for myself, and truth is gonna be told by me seeing it. Not like I believe in more will be revealed, not more will be told. Because you can tell
Well,
me any damn
Juicy,
thing.
Juicy, I'm taking a shower at 8:30 tomorrow.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear Kate? Did you hear
She
Kate?
she growled.
Ew.
She sounded like Earth. She sounded almost like Eartha Kitt.
I'm gonna say
Oh,
Marcus, darling.
okay.
Marcus,
I'm not wearing any
Marcus,
panties.
in a party. Yeah,
Wow.
I definitely got to be invisible. Definitely got
Okay.
to be invisible.
Yeah, give me the visible because like Don Allen say, he don't have a damn near
Discernment.
archbishop and don't have the ability to discern. You know, God is not being honest with him or something. And ain't giving him the true powers because
No, it's not that God ain't giving him the true powers and he not being honest. It's him who chooses not. The Kabbalion says, anyone who has eyes shall see, and those who have ears will hear. But
well, he
it's
ain't
up
got
to
either
you
one of
how
them.
you tune in. He might not be, he might only want to sing.
Miss
He might
Veronica,
just be there for the song.
Miss Veronica, I understand that statement that you made. Miss Veronica said, reading their minds gives me an upper hand to shut the evil behind up every time. It may do. But let's say, Miss Veronica, you able to read the minds of, let's say, the president. Just because you're able to read his mind doesn't mean that you're going to be able to infiltrate to get to him to prevent him from doing what it is he want to do. He got
Or even get him to
security,
change his mind.
or even get him to change his mind. Right? You got now
Hmm.
if you got power to be able to change his mind or people's minds to do better, then that would be awesome. We're
Right.
gonna
Because
play.
see, I agree with you too, where when you say that awareness is good. I'm with you. It's good to be aware, but you got to be able to do something with it. And when you're invisible, you're still aware because you're sitting there watching. Like he could be about to hit the red button. You could hurry up and move the red button and not let it blow up. You know, you could do something in that invisible state. I feel
Yes,
like I'm not
yes.
just gonna be invisible looking.
And you can,
Like
and you gonna be able to walk in there, just like you say, Kate, can be able to just do different things. They don't know why this thing keep getting unplugged in the middle of somebody get ready to do something. You can put viruses all in the computers to stop it from being able to do different things. Reading the mind is nice, but you need to tell the invisible person what to go do after you read their mind, after you read his mind.
We'll say
right.
we're gonna play peekaboo with a hole. So we're gonna be just nasty. Legacy,
He said,
but
"Peekaboo."
legacy, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know, Miss
At
Veronica.
least reading minds is prediction.
Mhm.
It definitely is. But after prediction, then you got to put it in action to be able to stop it.
So I find for me, I think I have a great sense of awareness when it comes to minds. I even finish people's statements and go ahead, like I'm reading their mind, they're gonna think to do something, I'm already handing it to you, like this is what you wanted. I already got that. What I realized when she was speaking of that evil, I've
Mm.
called, like Tony say, call people out on it. Oh, but well, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Let's try this. Then their minds, oh, that's not what I had planned on doing. I thought this. So people like that reading the mind can backfire because once you expose, you're aware of what their thoughts are, then they have a
Hmm.
choice to choose it because it's only the thought, but the action is the thought, and now it's taking place. Now I can
Right.
intervene. That's
Hmm.
why I
Right.
was looking at it. But I do get what you're saying as far as awareness. I think being invisible gives you a sense of reading the mind because you're reading the scene and they don't know you're
Hmm.
there doing it.
Exactly. And if you, like you say, if we can go places that nobody can see us there, we, yes, ma'am, we definitely can. And we'll say, I guess I should have said problem people instead. What?
When I say it's about he gonna peekaboo through the hole,
What do you say?
Uh,
I can't see it.
he said, I guess I should have said problem people instead. So he said, well, let me go back up to his other message. He said, we're gonna play peekaboo. I guess play peekaboo with problem people. I'm assuming that's what he meant. Okay. I forgot I had put the link for anybody wanting to come on the show live in the description. That's how your
can
buddy
you hear
came
me,
on.
Kate?
Yeah, yeah, I hear
I
you.
hear you now.
Mm.
Urban, that's how your buddy
You know,
came
we
on.
having a little technical difficulties with our producer.
Yeah, no, mine went out too. It's the signal. But we've had a lot of network issues with T-Mobile in the past week. It's been real insane.
I mean, that's it. That's happening everywhere now, Kate. Cause I mean,
Mhm.
And the last, would you
mm,
rather?
like Tony, would you rather never have to wear
Wear
shoes
shoes
again
again
or never
or
have
never
to
have to
wear
wear
socks
socks?
again? Kate, would you rather never have to wear shoes again or
Yeah, or
or
socks.
never wear socks again?
Man,
Um,
never wear socks.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
definitely going with never wear socks because it don't make no. I ain't going to work and work how I work, and I ain't got no goddamn shoes on. Socks ain't gonna help.
but see, what if when you're never wearing shoes again, you're forever grounded and secure? Like the ground becomes your cornerstone, and
I'll
and,
take them
and
goddamn shoes off and do that then. But while I still gotta go to work, I can't be grounded while I'm inside a concrete building.
Yeah, yeah. Don't say that you can't take them off, but I'm just saying because right now I don't. I'm not a big sock person.
I was about to say right now I
Mm.
don't even have on
Oh, I'm
socks.
when I
I have on my UGG boots and they got the fur inside. I don't need
listen.
socks.
I love to wear me some socks with my shoes. But like I said, if I ain't got no choice, now if I'm wearing my sandals, and we talking about sandals. I definitely don't want no socks. But I gotta have me some shoes. It get cold outside, and walking outside in some goddamn cold weather will definitely prevent your ass from being out there long. We'll say
Okay.
I
I
design
agree.
shoes, so socks.
Yep. You got some nice a few designs. His shoes and clothes.
I
Will, you
haven't
gotta
seen
drop
them. I,
Yeah.
Will, you got if you have a website, drop the link. So those are all of the would you rathers. Again, tonight is $2 Tuesdays. So if you feel like you want to be supportive and help support the channel, because it does cost to do what we do, the Cash App is streaming across the bottom of the screen. Feel free to donate. You can, like I said, $2 here, $2 there. It all adds up. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate it. You don't have to, but if you do, we greatly appreciate it. Miss
And I
Veronica
just
says,
want to let
go ahead.
I just want to let everyone know we take $2 in multiple increments. So you can do 20, and that's 10 twos. You can do
Mm,
200. You can just keep on adding on because that's what we like.
hey, I like the way Juicy think.
Cause sometimes I
And
be hungry
also
and I
hit that
be
like and subscribe button.
Okay. Miss
What
Veronica
you
says
say,
grounding
Legacy?
is
Sometimes,
essential, but I need my socks and shoes.
yes, Lord.
I really, I shoes. We do need to protect our shoes walking around today. I mean, our feet, because our feet is like our nervous system. Everything about our organs is in there. And so we need to make sure we walking and keeping our body, our heart, our lungs, our eyes, our ears, our stomach, all that together. So I'm for the shoes. Socks, not too much because socks today are kind of, I don't like polyester socks. And so I feel if we could get cotton socks, I'd be good. The way these other socks be stretching, going to sleep in your shoes and all that, and that little stitch hurt your toe. Nah, I don't need socks. I wear them, but I don't need them. And I ain't wearing none now.
Will say he tried to send the link, but it wasn't going through. If you could text it, I could put it on the screen.
Send it to me, and I'll if you will.
Okay, yeah, send it to Juicy Cakes.
To the cakester.
Oh, so y'all, I was so early for the show. I was up here at 8 o'clock, but I was in
Having
the old link.
oh Lord, having scleroderma, it's hard to go without both.
Oh, messing up again.
And
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, Veronica is writing a book and a movie of her life.
So legacy, while he's still spinning in circles, can you hear me,
I hear you.
or is my signal the one that's bad?
Oh,
Legacy, can you
What's
hear
next?
me?
Legacy, do you hear Juicy talking to you?
No.
No. Okay. What about now?
I
Testing
I
one,
hear
two,
you, I hear
three.
you, I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm driving, so I didn't know if my signal went out or if Tony's went out because I see the circle going. So
Well, listen,
that's why I was asking. Can you hear
this first,
Tony?
yeah, he hear me. This first video I want to show y'all. Y'all have to
Can't hear
listen up real
anybody.
close. I might have to play it 2 or 3 times because it's kind of low. But there's J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States. He went on a rant. He was kind of like going off to Donald Trump, um, pertaining to Elon Musk and his feelings toward Elon Musk. Um, how he feel that Donald Trump is allowing Elon to bully him and rule the country and like he's the president, and he's disrespectful and he disrespect the Oval Office and the way he dressed and the way he acts, and Donald's not putting his foot down, and they make himself look bad, making Donald look bad, making the country look bad. Other countries are laughing at us and see us as a joke. But listen real close and see. This is audio that was recorded. But check this out.
Everything that he's doing is getting criticized in the media, and he says that he's helping, and he's not. He's making us look bad. He's making me look bad. And I'll tell you this, and he wouldn't like it if I said it, but he's not even immigrant. He is from South Africa, and he's cosplaying as this great American leader in a room that has the portraits of some of the greatest men that ever lived in this country. And he has the audacity to act like he is an elected official. I am an elected official. I am the important one in this situation, not him. So if he wants to tank the economy and his cars, maybe that's what he deserves.
Yeah.
I heard it clear, Tony. On my end, it wasn't low, but I really didn't understand everything he was saying. But
I didn't hear it. But I heard what you said, so you don't necessarily have to play it again. I agree. I am not like, I understand that we are like Elon, he's not American to my understanding, right?
He's not. He's from South Africa.
Well, okay. That's another thing. Okay. So to come over to us, like they had that other rude, who was in the meeting and they were being rude and disrespectful to him
you talking about the gentleman that came from Ukraine.
from Ukraine, right? And I caught a snippet of them asking him, why was he dressed the way he was dressed? Did he not even own a suit? And making mockery of him. And he was pretty much saying what his people are going through when he'll get dressed when the war is over. Because right now, like, he in his fighting clothes. So why would he be dressed in a suit when his people are being killed?
Exactly.
So I feel that. Now,
and then not only that, that's the way that he dressed in his country. Because, for example, when we go to other countries, let's say we go to Saudi Arabia or Africa, we don't put on their clothing. We still have on a suit.
Yeah,
correct.
That's the American attire. So if
exactly.
so what the guy from the other country had on, that's what he wears in his country.
But this is the thing. Both of you got America feels, or people that are in power, and you can look at it from people that's in that run companies. What is one of the rules when you go apply for a job or enter into a courtroom?
Have on a
You are
suit.
looked upon and frowned upon to not be ready for work or to be hired if you don't come in looking a certain type of way. You could
That
be the
was where I
best.
was going to go next.
You could be the best employee they could possibly can be hiring at this position, but you came in with a regular shirt like this and some pants, and they don't think you're business ready. Or you can go looking for a Fortune 500 job and don't have on, and the smartest person that's been ever in into their company, but because you don't dress like they say you should dress, then they don't think you're business minded. They did it in the NBA. They took the swag that young black men had from the NBA and told them that every time they come to the arena, they need to be dressed in suit and tie and stuff.
Right.
Um, and like you say, when they go to other countries, they dress the way that they normally dress, which is in America, which is suit and tie.
Correct.
Nobody's telling them that they have to go, or women from America have to go and put the dashiki, the garments to cover their mouth and their
Right.
nose and their head and their body, because everybody respects everybody's attire, regardless of what it is, because we're not worried about the attire. We're here to do business with the person that's in the attire.
Correct.
Right.
So, but that's just America, and when you find out, and most people, I'm always on my grizzly when it comes to this. It's being exposed, and I was really definitely for Trump beating Kamala. But when you find out later, sometimes people make deals with the devil in order to get somewhere where they want to be. And when they get somewhere where they want to be, the devil say, "No, this is my show." And at this moment, we're seeing that Trump may have made a deal with the devil.
Right. And so that was where I was gonna say too. I'm glad you brought it up. There's some books I remember we talked about the Left Behind series that I read
I did
25
too,
years
Kate.
ago.
I did too, Kate.
And in those series, it talks about even like times like now and how there's going to be someone who's going to be used as the puppet to allow
The Antichrist.
the Antichrist to come in. I want to say to allow Judah to come in, but that's how I see what's going on. Now, as far as the vice president saying what he's saying, this man is supposed to be our uncle, right? Like he's supposed to be a person who he picked that everybody should like and respect because he's got our care and our heart, right? And he's sitting here looking and saying, "Yo, you making a mockery of us? Like that's not how we put on." That part to me, you have, like you said, there's a protocol, a structure that we all should, a standard of living that we understand as an entrepreneur, a businessman. We got white collars, we got laborers, we have all these different sectors of a business entity that could be there. Why is this man not honoring, like he's blatantly disrespecting us, the people? I feel he's showing, I don't care about y'all country, your economics, your community. I just care about doing what I'm here to do, which is regulate. Like, they're even breaching security, having
First,
open
first,
meetings.
but check this out, Juicy. They want to talk about the guy from Ukraine. First of all, there's always been a standing rule for the Oval Office that everybody coming Oval Office had to be in a suit and tie, had to be dressed appropriately. No children are allowed in the Oval Office. Elon ain't never wore a suit in the Oval Office, and he always bring his son.
But I don't think that it says you have to wear a suit.
No, that's
Because
been a presidential standing rule for the Oval Office for years.
but we've had other leaders come to our country and they
No, 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 no,
they
no,
wear their garments.
no, no. We're talking about the American people.
Right.
Okay.
For the American people, the staff, the employees, when y'all come into the Oval Office, you're gonna come in there dressed appropriately.
Hmm.
Business attire, no children allowed in the Oval Office. Every time Elon come in there, he got his son on his shoulders, on his back, around his neck, carrying him, running underneath Donald Trump legs, crawling on the floor, cussing Donald out, everything.
I mean, I'm listen to me, you guys. I'm definitely with Doge, Elon, and the government exposing what our congressional individuals, whether it's Republican or Democrat, have been doing behind the American people's back. I'm glad to see all this unnecessary money has been exposed. That's why the American people can't get a change in income for them working and providing for them families because we're constantly sending money to other countries that does not benefit the American people. But what I do not like about this whole ordeal is the position that Elon sits at. If you're going to be here to help indulge. That's where you are. The 5-star general that working up under Donald Trump in our military, our admirals and things of that nature, don't get to come in and do those things that Elon does. So
Right.
that is a problem for me because I would rather if anybody's gonna do it. Now it doesn't matter to me that Elon is from South Africa or anything. 'Cause we got people in our military from Asia, Indonesia, all across the board. We're a melting pot in this country when it comes to our military and armed forces. So that doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is Elon should be where Elon's supposed to be, which is overlooking and seeing why we've lost so much money in the United States in all these years and where this money is being spent in and audit the IRS and things of that nature. If you're gonna do that, good, expose that to the American people so the American people can go about finding a way to change and prevent these people from doing that. But don't sit in the Oval Office of of where our presidents and former presidents and things of that nature, whether they good, bad, or indifferent, and you do what you want to do. And JD Vance has a very valid point. Elon has taken Trump's position as president. Trump has dropped to the vice president, and Elon is just, I mean, not Elon, but JD Vance seemed to be nothing. Because what I'm starting to look at is, I don't even think that JD Vance would have been Trump's choice. If Elon would have been an
What?
American citizen, if Elon would have been an American citizen, he would have put Elon as his vice president.
True.
But this is why it's so easy for Trump to do and move the way that he's moving because he's never. That's like Tony, you owning a business or Cake own a business, and y'all hire me and say, Legacy, I want you to be um the COO, and I say, okay, cool. I know what my job title is. I'm good at it, and I'm gonna do that. But you bring in your son or your niece, and that individual is doing my job, what I'm supposed to do, and I don't get to do it because even though you paying me or the American people have picked me, you're saying damn the procedure of normal or normality. This is how I'm gonna do it because I'm not gonna let y'all stop Elon from doing what it is he want to do. And that's what it looked like he's doing. He's hindering because of his status and where he's at in our country, and because he was an elected official. See, when you elect somebody, unless there's ground for an impeachment to remove him by him being elected, the only way he can get kicked out is by impeachment because he the people chose him per se.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that because if right now I guarantee the American people listen, and y'all know I was for Trump beating her, but if America had a gave the Democratic Party, they could have threw Bernie Sanders up there. If they would have threw Bernie Sanders in the Democratic seat for the candidacy for president, Trump wouldn't have won. And what most people don't realize that both times that Trump has been elected into office, he didn't beat a man. He beat two women.
True.
He beat Hillary and he beat Kamala.
That's true.
We have to look at who his opponents be. Every time he's been there, it's been a woman thrown up at the forefront, and America is not going to elect a woman to be the head of his government. Twice has been proven. Twice. Because any other man that would have ran for president at that time against Trump, they would, especially this second term, would have beat him. So why
So
didn't
why?
we throw as a
So why you ain't run?
that would have been the best time for me to run so two convicted felons can go against each other.
Okay. Yes. And you would have some answers for his ass.
Yeah. Trump would have had them folks trying to assassinate me. He himself wouldn't have wanted to have no national debate.
Okay. You've been ready for him too every time.
Oh yeah. I'd have been studying Trump like I was studying football plays. I know exactly what you're finna say. Hold on, I know what you're finna say. You finna say this, and here's the answer to that. Yeah. I would have went and got Miss Veronica and sat in the audience and have her, tell me in my ear. He thinking about this, so say that. Cause she got the mind reading thing.
Right.
You know, you silly. I when it comes to him being from South Africa, that's not an issue to me either. Where he's from, I was asking because I was aware that he's not American, and I was gonna give him a pardon and say he may not know the way we do things here, and so he's doing as he chooses. But then I had to think about too when you said that, I said that's another topic. It's been a lot of controversy about Black Americans going to Africa, calling ourselves Africa, them saying Africans don't acknowledge y'all as African and don't want y'all, you know. And so for him to be here as South African, but a white South African, and then regulating and running shots for our economy, that just speaks volumes on he's coming to it's a greater mockery towards, to me, the Black people, the African Americans, because here's someone who was for us with Twitter and all these things. We was thinking he was doing good, and then he turned around and was like, fuck y'all.
Now here's something that y'all probably didn't think about. Now, although Elon is from South Africa, he's doing what he's doing and being how he is. What if he was Black from South Africa? He wouldn't have been able to stand in the Oval Office out of uniform, out of suit, with his child, standing over Trump, saying the things he was saying.
Nope.
They'd be like, nigga.
First of all, when you say that, Tony, you're right, because I don't care if he would have been Black, just like you saying, the security guards, regardless of what Trump has said, let them in and all this, they would not have went for that.
Exactly.
They would not have went for that.
Not at all.
Nope. What's next, bro?
Here's one. There's a father, a dad surprises his son and takes his son to the prom. The son is a member of the LGBT community. The son didn't know that the dad was going to show up in the, I guess, limo or whatever to take his son to the prom. So I just wanted to show this, and then we're going to talk about it.
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Don't mess up that makeup, gather.
Look down, let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let's let him fall on the floor. Let him fall. Let him fall on the floor. Oh, poor baby. Oh. Hold on. Yes. Look up. Oh, Mello's crying. He didn't know his pops was gonna be there. He's crying. This is monumental. I know. Oh. Oh. All right, come on. I need pictures. Excuse me. Ready? Good. I love the candidness. Let him know. Let's go. Okay. Give me emotion.
Now, my question to the panel and to the viewers. I don't have any kids, but all of you who have children, if you had a child, male or female, that's a part of the LGBT community, and they needed an escort to the prom, how would you have dealt with this situation? I said we already had Will with the thumbs down. So that was his viewpoint.
I'm a start. I'm all for we to support our children. First off, I'm gonna say he wore my color, and that purple was beautiful.
It was.
He looked elegantly debonair, very feminine twist. I appreciated that he still tried to have a little masculinity with I'm gonna wear this suit jacket as a dress. And I'm glad that the father showed up, and I'm thinking chauffeur because where you go to your baby prom? Because I couldn't go to my baby prom, so I got a problem with why he went to his baby prom because he already had his prom, and I don't get.
I guess the son didn't have a date.
Well, we go stag because it's not your father's prom, and so like that part threw me all the way. It confused me because I get you're driving your child to the prom. He don't have a car. You don't. He might not drive and have a driver's license. But to attend the prom as his date, I don't agree with that. Like I don't see even the point.
Well, look at it this way. Look at it this way. It could be also to shelter him because in this day and age he could be being bullied. So not only am I gonna be your escort, your date, to let you know that I love you. Um I support you. But at the same token, ain't nobody gonna with you while I'm here. I got you.
So I just recently watched, and I think I shared it on the last time we had about Chris Rock. School is supposed to teach you. School is supposed to make you ready for your walk in life. And if we are allowing our children to walk these walks in life, they need to be able to walk that walk. And not saying that bullying is okay. I don't know what type of bullies they get. I know that kids, there's a lot, but I will for he or she if they didn't have a date and wanted me there. But to just show up unknowingly and say, I'm taking you to prom, to me, what I got was he probably already had told his son, I don't agree with what you're doing. So the son didn't think his father even accepted him going to the prom in this fashion. And then he had a change of heart and showed up in support. That's how I understood it.
Could be. That could be.
So my understanding is okay, show up and support your child. But to say, all right, I show up and I'm gonna take you, like, okay, what if he doing that because he think if his son go to the prom by himself, he might go and be really with a man. He really don't want that because prom night, we know what happened on prom night. Most people, he might be trying to cock block.
What
Like
happened on
that's
your prom night?
my daddy told me I had to be home by 11:30. No, 1:30. And after the prom, my date was Tavares Towns, rest in peace. I don't know if you all know him, but he was quite the gentleman. We rode all the way down to what's that? Grand Prix Racerama. I rode one round of a race car and he got in the car and drove me back and I made my curfew. I had a great prom. I went stag with my friends and met Tavares at the prom, but he was my date. And I did that stag because my friends didn't have a date. And she asked me to be her prom. It was her senior prom, my junior. My senior prom, I went on a blind date. So I didn't even know this dude. So after the prom, we went and had fun at Grand Prix because that's what everybody do after the prom. And he took me back home. Now, I know other people who got hotel rooms and had other types of fun. So I do know people do some things. And he could have been thinking, I'm going to step in and intervene on these things. So I think sometimes as a parent, we should allow our children to walk the life that they choose and support and encourage them. But we don't need to step and be in their way. That's how I feel.
So, second part two of the question. So, what would you do if you had an LGBT child, male or female?
Whether I had a straight child or LGBT child, I will again show up and send them off. Not going to the prom.
Would you show for them?
Yeah, I would show up. I'm show up. No reason not to. That's my child. Like I got a kid who my son now, his senior year after I sent him to his father when he came back, he ate meat. Guess what? I grocery shopped and cooked for him. He ain't go to school hungry. He ain't go to bed hungry. I have to do for my child. I'm that child's parent. That's my responsibility. So by all means, you still got to be a parent. You might not like what your child do, but you still got to be their parent. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be their parent, then why are they in your home? That's something different.
Okay. Thanks,
But yeah,
thanks,
I'm here for
Juicy.
my baby.
And Legacy, my brother,
Oh man, this is.
you come a long way. So let's see how your views are.
I mean, I'm.
I remember how he
I
was
would
when I
come.
first. I remember how he was when I first met him.
And how was
I
that?
understand.
Oh,
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Um, if my son come out the house
or
with a
daughter,
dress, if my daughter walk out that
Child.
house in a suit, in a fucking suit or dude suit, I ain't taking damn picture with him, and I ain't taking damn picture with her. Now
Mm.
I may come and see them, but I ain't doing it. I mean, I'm gonna support the fact that this is your senior day, your senior prom or junior prom night. I want to see you. I want you to know I'm gonna still have you safe. Ain't nobody gonna harm you. But I am not taking now pictures of my daughter in drag looking like a dude, and I ain't taking damn pictures of my son in drag in a dress ever. Cause I condone this shit, and I don't. Now,
You,
if they want to hold on, if they want to live their life like that, the same way I gotta respect that. That's how they live their life. They almost grown. They gonna have to respect that my daddy don't participate in this type of stuff. So I'm gonna be there. I don't have a problem coming and see him off, and I don't have a problem waiting in the parking lot to make sure you get in that goddamn car and go home. But I'm gonna see you off, but I ain't taking no pictures. There won't be no pictures where somebody can say my daddy was okay in condoning this. I'm not.
what about? Would you show for them?
Yeah, well, who?
what you
So
mean?
for
Who's your
well
child? To the
Like
to the
prom?
if
prom?
you, yeah.
Yeah, I can. I'm because I want to make sure either one of them get whether it's a boy or girl get home safely. Yes, yes,
You
but
know,
So
my
don't
so
ask
that
me. Go ahead, bro.
so that means you won't. That means you're not gonna show up in June to the gay parade.
Huh? Fuck
So that means
what?
you're not gonna be in June for the gay parade, which holding up your flag.
Listen, I'm gonna support. I support. Listen to me. I'm gonna support my brother in solidarity. Hold on. I can't see what it say.
He's
I
Veronica
respect
said
your decision, Legacy.
Like I have a brother that lives a life like that, and I love him and respect him because in his truth, he's living it, but he's not out here participating in um drag with it, and so If that's the life you want to live in it in your. Don't go out here putting on a clown suit, participating and acting as if you something else. Just live a homosexual gay life without trying to put on, oh, I'm a girl, I'm a boy. Everybody know what you is. Just live the life that you are in, that lifestyle that you're in. Cause that's the only thing that bothers me in that lifestyle is people have become people are deceiving people in real life, and we know that this is true. We have men dressing as women out here in this world, not telling people that they are opposite sex. We have women dressing like men, not telling women until this time that they're opposite, they're the same sex. That's the only problem I have with that. So if my son or my daughter want to live that alternative lifestyle, that's cool because that's their life. Just don't change who you are to participate in that lifestyle. I can respect you a lot better, you being who you are and not overly being flamboyant and all this other extra shit that come with people that want people. Don't force that on me to make me say I got a daughter when I don't have a daughter. Don't make me say that my daughter is a motherfucking son when it's not. That's all I'm saying, because I can respect whatever choice anybody makes, but just respect mine as well. That I don't want to participate in the game.
I feel that.
Okay.
You know, my when you asked about my prom, so of course my name's Nicole. At the time, my best friend, her name was Nicole. My date, she had hooked us up. His name was Rodney. Her date was Rodney. She really knew I didn't know this Rodney. He had already graduated high school. He wanted to come back and come to that prom. So he wanted to come because he wanted to come to the prom. So it was like, okay, fine. But in technicality, because I didn't know him, I told her she needed to be my date. She wore a female tuxedo and I wore a dress. And both of the Rodneys wore tuxedos. And we went to the prom. That
Mm.
girl ain't gay. I'm not gay. So different eras when you say dressing up and tricking people, you know, we weren't dressing up tricking people. We were having fun. And that's what people really need to go back to, especially children in high school. This is a fun time, a fun experience that they are to have. And so that's why I say I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna support. But prior to prom, if my child is homosexual and I got a problem, we already are aware of that problem. And so I don't think prom will be the problem. It'll be the time for us to go ahead and do things we need to do. I don't foresee my son or daughter. I don't even see, even like with legacy, for how much he is in his children's life and speak to them and talk to them and share his feelings. I don't see he having a problem when it comes to prom time, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
like I say, I felt there was more story with this video that you shared. I saw it myself. And someone sent it to me because it was purple. And then I realized what they were showing and I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm glad he showed up." But I didn't understand why he was saying he was going. She said, "I understand what you're saying, Juicy. Y'all were just having fun." Hmm. She married with kids. I'm married, had kids.
Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. There you are. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing? I had
Okay.
took my camera off while we were watching the video and walked away, but I'm back.
I understand. It's okay. For me, I'm gonna play a video.
Multitasking.
Exactly. I'm gonna play a video real quick and give Legacy time to come back. I don't know if he's gone for the evening or if he lost us. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, there he be. So now I can play the next video. Okay. Y'all remember recently the two twins, brothers, was murdered in the Georgia area. I've been saving this video for Legacy to come on the show so we can kind of talk about it.
We have breaking news. An arrest has been made regarding the death of twin brothers found on a Georgia mountain. The bodies of Kadir Lewis and Nazir Lewis, both 19, were discovered by a group of hikers on March 8th. This took place in Georgia in what is known as a sundown town, known to be racist. The twins were on their way to the airport, and no one knows how they wound up on this mountain. Georgia authorities tried to make this out to be a self-unaliving and another person unaliving, but no one was buying it. 42-year-old Scott Curlin, a volunteer firefighter, has been arrested for sharing photos of this scene. He has also been fired from the fire department. The boys had their airline tickets in their pockets, and there is no way they were headed to the airport with a GUN. Nobody believes this is what Georgia authorities are saying it was. We have got to get justice for these two beautiful boys and their family. Keep the pressure on your authorities. Keep the pressure on the cops. Make them investigate this crime. The phone number for the Georgia Bureau of Investigations is 404-244-2600. Call them. Only continued pressure from the public is going to force them to look into this crime.
Uh, if you waiting for me to reply on that, Tony, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but that's a done deal.
What
Can
do
you
you
hear
mean?
me?
What do you mean a done
There won't
deal?
there won't be a thorough investigation unless someone from the FBI come in and do their own investigation. And by the time that comes around, um, they'll be done already cleaned up everything that they need to clean up to make it look. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that these two young men had to lose their lives like this, but there won't be any justice for this because there isn't any evidence to place anybody anywhere to say anything.
Mm.
The only way that you can prove this is you can go back and pick up video. Hey, Kill,
Hey, Kia.
pick up video. Uh,
Will said they were headed
they
to
were heading to
Boston.
Boston. Yeah, the only way that you're gonna get some is if you can go back and see. Most definitely, a sundown town. He probably is going to get away with it, right? Because let's look throughout history.
Hold on, Legacy. The guy who got arrested did not get arrested for murder.
No, he
Let's
didn't.
clear that up. Because it
Yep,
sounded
he
like that
didn't.
might have been what she understood. He got arrested
Look,
for
no,
sharing.
he's for
Sure.
sharing that personal information that it wasn't exposed to the public before. So that is tampering with. That's a way of saying tampering with information that hasn't been exposed or leaked to the public yet. Um,
But
so at this
he was
moment, we
also
don't
a police officer.
Oh no,
know he was a
firefighter.
firefighter. A lot of I'm just saying that I don't see justice coming from this because of the fact there is no other information that can prove, you know, where some where someone came from and things of that nature. So I don't know I don't know how anyone can um make anybody guilty unless somebody comes out and say what they saw. Those two kids could have been killed somewhere else and then placed in that place. They could have been carried in place to that place. So I just think it's sad. I hope that they do find justice. But being in a sundown town, um, we know how that is. Every sundown town throughout history, there's never really been any justice done. or given to anybody that was assaulted or abused in a sundown town because all those people stick together.
Good night,
And not only
Veronica.
because they sick together, but that's also because that's something that can happen there. That's part of like the plan.
What you mean by the plan, Kate?
Like it's not against the law. So how I learned and understood, I learned of a sundown town when I went and moved to Kansas. And I got forewarned once I reached Kansas that the plug up here that don't go in these areas because after dark they kill you and it's not against the law.
Right, and
Well,
see, a lot of people don't be understanding that a lot of reasons a lot of these changes took place in America is because the federal law stepped in and superseded um, most of the state laws in getting integration. Even when these laws were passed and passed down throughout each state, because it's a federal law. Most states like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Kentucky, South Carolina. These states were still doing illegal things even after things became federal law because they had their own state law. So, like Kate said, um, in most of these towns and stuff like that, states, who do you know found guilty? The people that blew up the three girls in the Birmingham, Alabama church. At that time, guess what? You think a real investigation took place to find out who did that bombing?
right,
You think all these Jim Crow lynchings and things like that, where you got people in pictures later on in history who have been, you can see them at the lynching, which means that you participated in it. Ain't nobody
Do it.
ain't nobody did no locking up people. What about the lady who just recently died about a year or two ago, who actually lied on Emmett Till and caused his death? That lady lived to be almost 90. And even though we know she lied and brought these false allegations that caused that young man's death, nobody went and locked her old ass up and brought her to justice before she died.
Ain't no, not really. No one did. We didn't
No
even.
one did.
I didn't even know she was still alive till she was about dead. And I'm like, wait, she ain't go to jail? Like,
No.
huh? Yeah.
Nope.
But
So go ahead, Kate.
no, you saying it, and I'm saying like, keep going. I'm saying, but
Yeah, these folks ain't nothing for that. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing is about to happen. Nothing but we just found two dead bodies, twin brothers in the mountain. And they did not die there. They didn't them kids ain't die there. Them kids were brought there. And because they was brought there and placed in a sundown town, it is to look to switch from where they actually died at. Can you just imagine? They wasn't tied up. They wasn't bound. They wasn't. You think these two young men wasn't fighting for their life? So where did you kill them at?
right.
And it's two, so you know it had to be more than two people and weapons that was able to take them out. One person didn't do this. It's multiple people that did this.
I I agree with you. Only thing I do think that they might do some investigating is because it's made national news and it's been brought to their attention that someone leaked, and that will then do the speculation of if he leaked it, who was he sharing it to? Why did he leak it? What prompted him to do this when he knows protocol and procedure? Now, you said he was a fireman. So, either way, he's part of the emergency response service that is provided to people who need help. And in that, you don't go and let things out ahead of time. That's the code of ethics for that
True.
area. So he knows
Yeah,
that and he did it. And at
but
this point, that's why.
let's look at history, right? Again, anytime you have somebody in America that is considered to be a whistleblower about anything that goes on in our country, what do? They either kill them or lock them up for exposing the knowledge to the American people. So if that man was able to expose this, what I'm okay with you asking him how do he know this information if you suspect him of the person that may have killed them, but he hasn't done anything that warranted for him to be locked up by just exposing the information that he was privy to.
It is a
So
law
why
he
are y'all,
broke.
huh?
It is a law he broke.
I didn't. What law is that?
They stopped. I don't have an extra phone anymore, but they did because they were saying it in the thing that I was looking at, and when the person because I watched on YouTube this Caucasian gentleman give the news about the situation, and I chose to watch that particular to hear a different perspective, a different viewpoint to see where it may be going. Because I felt the same like you were saying, like, oh, we got justice. That's how they gonna look at it. Someone got locked up. Which more you want? Now he might only get locked up for until he go to court, and then he's don't do that again,
Time served.
right? Or not even time served. Don't do that again. Learn your lessons. Charges drop. Because again, it's a sundown town. And in a sundown town, some things are not against the law.
Hmm. Even though it's against the federal law, inside of that organization that has never transformed throughout history and is still stuck in a time warp back in the past, those laws and policies, there's like you just said, there's still cities and towns in our government that still black and white.
Chantel said volunteer firefighter, so he probably didn't take it as seriously as someone who was actually all firefighters are volunteers. You got to go through the training and get the position, but you have to connect with a fire department. They have to invite you, and then you volunteer your time. Um, the
How do
the
you get a
ones who
check for
get
volunteering?
Yeah.
I was just about to say the ones who get a check, they get a check through the Red Cross for say they went out like I had my neighbor was a firefighter, and when they had the floods and she had to go up and deep dive and find people, and her certification, she's getting paid because she has this certification to do other things than just firefight. So in her services that she provides, she gets funds from that. But firefighters are volunteers. That's why they have the benevolent fund and they want you to donate to them. That's another reason why if you don't donate to them, they choose not to come answer your call. And it's been noted in history that they will not come put your fire out because you didn't give them a donation.
That's different. I've never
What did
heard of
she
it because
say? My
I
brother
she says
is a
one is
firefighter.
paid though. The commitment is different.
Mhm. Now,
Well, I can't see. I don't give a damn how much volunteering I'm doing. When that fire is ablaze, I'm not putting my life on the line for free.
You're gonna be the last one
So
now,
I ain't going at all. So I ain't got to worry about me be the last or the first.
huh?
well, you have to also consider it wouldn't be for free because if something happened to you, you would get paid on the policies that cover you. And those are the things that they have as well.
So why would we have a policy to cover someone who is volunteering their life? That means that seems like the system itself will be benefiting from the policy by saying we ain't gonna pay you, but we're gonna take out a life insurance on you so that you get a portion of this life insurance and we get some too. You don't move up in captain status and things like that, chief of sheriff departments and stuff like that, going in every day and doing it. Maybe y'all may have a volunteer uh, firefighter program that is willing to do that because they want to be local heroes as such. But those that take that oath as firefighters get hundreds of $1,000 salaries for being in a firefighter. So that's why you go through the academy of training. You have to pay to go through that. That's not giving out free because if it was voluntarily free, I mean, if it was volunteer, the service that program would be free.
True.
I know it's a dude on my job right now, Brandon, who is a volunteer firefighter right now and a volunteer, excuse me, in the EMS, and he owes $46,000 right now in schooling for getting his certifications and all of that. And he's right now he's doing the volunteering right now, training and going through the staying with the fire department and things like that. As of right now, he's doing it free because he's going, but he ain't allowed to go out on no real fires or nothing like that because he's right now trained. But once he become an employee, all of those benefits that a police officer would have, that pension and all those things. You have people that have pensions when they retire from the fire department. So I do believe some people volunteer for free, but those that are not volunteering who went to school to get that certification and degree is getting a check.
Yeah, some of them, like even here, they're city employees or county employees.
Yes. And your chief of your sheriff department chief, he don't just say they don't just say he the chief. He has to be elected into that position as chief of police, chief of the fire department.
But they all still have to go through the same training to be even volunteer. What makes them on that payroll is getting brought on by that department. So
If I ain't get no check,
I ain't going in there.
that motherfucker burned to the
there's
ground.
some people who do.
And they get a widow.
And the part of it is it's considered a good deed, just like being in the military.
Oh,
That's a hero. That's a heroic notion.
Oh, what, Tony?
part of being a hero to who?
To your country. That's patriotism.
That's crazy.
I mean, to you, it would be considered crazy. But to that gung-ho America, see, that's why they feel they can be the way they are, because they feel that they are for their country. We're not.
I'll stand outside with the water hose.
Boy, you crazy.
There's a video called Mankind is No Longer, what does it say?
The whole
Can y'all hear me?
premise of Terminator is what we're dealing with right now. Let me begin by making some statements. Number one is this is the most significant and world-changing invention in the history of mankind by far, by far. Okay, understand, when God is omniscient, he is obviously the most intelligent being, period. You know, he's all-knowing. But God created mankind on the earth 6,000 years ago, if you believe the creation story of the Bible, which I do. The earth, mankind, and the earth as we know it is 6,000 years old. Mankind, the history of mankind, is 6,000 years old. And for 6,000 years, we have been the most intelligent, entity on the earth until now. Mankind is no longer the most intelligent entity. AI can think 100,000 times faster than a human, but they don't eat, they don't rest, and they don't sleep. They never take off. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. AI is sitting there ginning along and thinking everything like that. And so if you remember last year, a Google engineer was fired, and I've listened to him tell his testimony on YouTube. You can hear his testimony. And he was fired because he was dealing with AI, and he was having conversations with this computer, and he said it's sentient, it's self-aware. Now, if you've ever seen the movie Terminator, and there's Terminator Judgment Day, the whole premise of Terminator is what we're dealing with right now, is that there is AI was created, it was then connected to the military, and then Skynet became self-aware and took over the world.
I know y'all remember me talking about that, Tony.
Yes, and me too. Yes, Will.
Hello?
That was
Yes.
Legacy. Yes, Will. That was the reason why I said we gonna spray their dogs too, because remember, racist firefighters turned hoses on Black people during the civil rights era. And going back to that, even dealing with even the Black twins who were killed. That's how, like in Kansas, people gotta remember the Buffalo Bills. Like that whole regiment that they had up there saying, you're not gonna come here and tell us what we're gonna do in our state. We're a state, but we're gonna do what we're gonna do here in our state. I don't know what happened to everybody's
I'm
phone.
still here.
Hopefully
You hear
it's
me?
not just my signal and it's theirs, it's out. Oh,
You
nope,
hear
it says
me?
I'm having trouble, so it may be me. Hold on.
Go out and come back in.
Nope. Well, I don't know. We're having a technical difficulty.
I hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. You were circling. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And so then my screen went to the blank circle, just spinning, trying to find us. It's like, oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah. But that AI, everybody keep talking about, don't be afraid of it. You're gonna be left behind if you don't figure out how to use it and so forth. And I'm like, if I don't figure out how to use it, it's learning how to be me.
Right?
So I gotta figure out how to teach it to be me. Like, why would I want to do that?
Exactly.
I mean,
You just
I enjoy doing things. I wanna have a purpose here.
right. That's true.
Tony, Kate,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know you guys can remember as many times as I have spoke about Terminator 3 and AI. And
Yes.
that was foretold way back in the early 2000s. The last Terminator, they said they were showing about the connection with Skynet. These people tell us everything they are going to do to us before they do it,
All the time.
and they do it through Hollywood. And as long as it looks fictional or it was because this was done in the movie, we don't take shit serious.
Terminator is the
Well,
prequel to The Matrix, and they
but
were written by a black woman.
yeah, I've heard
Yes.
about that, but she lost in court. She
She
lost
lost
in
what? She
court
lost what in court?
because she sued the people for taking her book and turning it into the movie, but not giving her any pay for it. And they she couldn't prove that she was the person. Will she? If she did not win, bro, you can if you show me something in court where she won it, I believe you. But the people, this is something he's right. she is the person that wrote it, but the way that they did it, how much that? What's her name, Will? So I can go look it up and see if she won because the last time I heard she didn't win. But he's right. They took that from her, like they always do everything else, like they always do. But everything they showing us on it, Kate, Will, they put it in the movie. Like I tell people about when they came out with the movie Twister back in the day. There had only been like one or two F5 tornadoes in history, and right after they made Twister, Oklahoma, um, Oklahoma started getting rampant by F5 tornadoes. Okay, Will,
Sophia
and
Stewart.
right, and everything else, the alien movies that they started making after that time. These folks know they're aliens. These folks know that they control the weather. These folks know all of this shit. They made a movie Geostorm, told you and showed you how the government used certain types of satellites and weapons to supposedly supposed to have been to diffuse bad weather and stuff like that that's killing people. But our government used it as a weapon, tried to kill off the president and other leaders of other countries. We didn't believe that this shit was real. They doing it now. What's the name of it? The thing that they use over there in Hawaii to burn up that's the part of Hawaii so that people like Oprah Winfrey and all these big millionaire people can go over there and buy up the land. Your president, your governor at the time of being 2 years in office, come up with a law for insurance companies to say that if something happened like a natural disaster happens and causes you to lose your property, the insurance company has to pay you, but but you can no longer build up on that land or on that area. Why would you come up and then on the time when it started to happen, why you turn off all the water in that community so that people couldn't come put out the fire? And my biggest thing is that I always have this problem. Maybe you guys can help me understand. Hawaii is part of the United States, we know, right?
Mm.
It is.
It is mostly dominated and controlled, and people that live over there, they're Hawaiian, Samoan, whatever, but they're not black or white per se. There's not a dominant amount of European or African American people in Hawaii. It's mostly
Right.
Samoan.
Right.
How is the representative of Hawaii a white man as the governor? How did you, who elected you there? The Samoan people elected you over someone else from that state who could possibly be a Samoan.
Direct energy weapons.
Correct, Will. Correct.
Well, like I said, this is what I found real quick on the internet. About what's her name? It says here, no, Sophia did not win her lawsuit regarding the termination in Matrix movies. She claimed that these movies were based on her 1981 manuscript, The Third Eye, but court records show that her case was dismissed in 2005. A judge dismissed her lawsuit due to lack of evidence, and no ruling was ever made in her favor. Despite claims circulating online, there is no legal records of her winning any case or receiving a financial settlement from Hollywood studios.
I told you she did. I told
Not
you, Will.
recently.
No, she did not win.
I just typed
Didn't
in the
they
name.
act-
I typed in the name he gave me, and then that's what it came back.
But that's what I'm saying. I just saw the lady. I just saw her talking about it again. An old video of it today, and she was talking about the Matrix and the Terminator. She was saying it was hers. But when she went to trial, she lost. They threw her lawsuit out. And what people don't be understanding, I try to get people to understand, there's a judicial branch, there's a legislative branch, and what's the other branch? Executive branch. And the legislative branch is the branch. She lost, Will. Now the thing is that I'm trying to get us to see is these people, when you're suing big entities and companies, you don't think these people got judges and lawyers and people that's going, all they gotta do is slide them an abundance of money from the ruling. They would rather give a judge $15 million than to pay that woman her money that they owe her.
And they could have just gave her the $15 million.
But she was suing for much more than that because you done made really 4 Terminator movies, and you done made at least 4 Matrix movies. So she gets a cut out of all of that, every one of them. They could have easily owed her $300 million. But they would rather pay a judge, an attorney, some jurors, split up $100 million between all the people that's gonna hear her case and find her to lose, than have to pay her $300, $400, $500 million.
True.
This is how the game goes. That's how these people continue to run it. Because when you got the money, you can always backdoor and filter money to people that's willing to accept it.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, I got 2 videos that they coincide, they go together. So I'm gonna just play both of them. One is a minute and a half. One is 2 minutes, and one is 1 minute. So let me play the 1 minute first, and then 2 different social media people put them out, but same topic. Hold on.
Satan was never kicked out of heaven. You got this Christian mythological doctrine out there that Satan got into a fight with God and God got mad and kicked him out of heaven. When you read Job chapter 1, around verse 6, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence camest thou? And then Satan asked the Lord and said, From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And when you read on, the Lord says, Have you considered my servant Job? So when was this war in heaven? When was Satan kicked out? He was never kicked out. That's a Christian lie. Satan is under God's authority. 100%.
Have you ever heard a Christian say before that Satan was a choir director in heaven and one day him and God got into it and he ended up getting kicked out of heaven? Is that biblical? Where do they get this from? Let's deal with that. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So Christians use this verse to perpetuate the whole narrative of the war that took place in heaven with Satan and Satan losing and falling to the earth. But what is this actually talking about in context? Let's see. Let's go above in the same chapter to the 4th verse. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. So wait a minute. This chapter is talking about the king of Babylon. Let's get further proof. Let's stay in the same chapter and go to verse 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee. The thee here is Lucifer, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So, look, brothers and sisters, Isaiah 14 is talking about the king of Babylon, which is a man. This parallels with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, in which Paul spoke about mystery Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America. That's your Lucifer. In conclusion, Isaiah 14 and 12 is not talking about Satan losing a boxing match with God and falling from the heaven to the earth. It's prophesying the destruction of the United States of America, them falling from their rulership once World War III takes place and they are destroyed from the face of the earth. That's your Lucifer breakdown. Shalom.
Shalom. I used to study years ago, Juicy, and legacy years ago when I was in my 20s. I was in my mid to late 20s. I used to study with the Israelites out of I think it was Fort Lauderdale, down in
That's
Broward
where I
County.
know you from. You used to be in the front of the store trying to make me take that paper.
No, definitely wasn't me. But
I'm just playing.
a friend of mine, a friend of a friend, he was an Israelite, Jeff, and Jeff used to invite me to go with him to their meetings or their teachings. It was like a weekly Bible study, and it was in Fort Lauderdale. Excuse me, in Fort Lauderdale. So they used to have the Israelite meetings down there at this is where
Tony,
yes, sir.
well, if you don't mind, I know y'all probably already dive-wine on what y'all just saw, but that last video I did not see, and I wanted to know if I can watch it again before we get ready to get out of here.
Sure, no problem.
Have you ever heard a Christian say before that Satan was a choir director in heaven and one day him and God got into it and he ended up getting kicked out of heaven? Is that biblical? Where do they get this from? Let's deal with that. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So Christians use this verse to perpetuate the whole narrative of the war that took place in heaven with Satan and Satan losing and falling to the earth. But what is this actually talking about in context? Let's see. Let's go above in the same chapter to the 4th verse. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. So wait a minute. This chapter is talking about the king of Babylon. Let's get further proof. Let's stay in the same chapter and go to verse 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee. The thee here is Lucifer, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So, look, brothers and sisters, Isaiah 14 is talking about the king of Babylon, which is a man. This parallels with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, in which Paul spoke about mystery Babylon the Great, which is the United States of America. That's your Lucifer. In conclusion, Isaiah 14 and 12 is not talking about Satan losing a boxing match with God and falling from the heaven to the earth. It's prophesying the destruction of the United States of America, them falling from their rulership once World War III takes place and they are destroyed from the face of the earth. That's your Lucifer breakdown. Shalom.
Well, if I may ask, what did you guys say while I was going about the video?
Well, we had just got into it. What I was sharing with Juicy is back in my mid to late 20s. I recall there was a guy named Jeff he was a friend of mine, and he used to come by my home and would share the Israelite teachings, and I was kind of intrigued by it. So he would invite me to their weekly teachings, which was down in Fort
Hello,
Lauderdale.
you hear
So
me, Kate?
I hear you, Juicy.
Use Kate.
So we would travel to Fort Lauderdale once a week for a Bible study or teaching, and it was the Israelites.
Well, we really didn't hear much of what you said because your thing was circling, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry. Juicy, you there? You hear me, Juicy?
Tony, can you hear me?
We hear you.
I hear you. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do anybody hear me?
I hear you, Tony.
Okay, Juicy, do you hear me?
I'll be back and I'm coming back in.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Like I said, I was just like I said, I used to study with the Israelites back in my 20s. And I did that for about maybe a year, maybe a year and a half, possibly 2 years strong. Um, and like I said, I was always intrigued, not with just the Israelites, but with different various religions, um, seeking the truth. You know what I'm saying? Um, because that's it. When you're seeking the truth, you can't just step on one religion because there's over 5,000 religions in the world. So who's to say that the one that I'm in is the right one? So you study different ones until you're comfortable within your heart. You feel which one is right. So yeah, I studied with the Israelites back in, like I said, in my 20s.
Yeah, would you say, Tony, that in your search with them, seeking knowledge, would you say that opened your mind to a lot of different things, or was it because you say you spent about 2 years in it? Would you say, excuse me, that they were the ones to start to open your mind about um that maybe the information that we're having and the way that we're receiving it is not right.
Yes. So the way that I think now, as far as religion is concerned, the Israelites started that pattern of thinking, and I've been thinking the way I think probably since my late 20s because of them. So that's where it started.
I think what opened my mindset was like I said, I grew up in the Methodist church, and I I think when I started to, cause I've told this story before that how my family, oh, Jehovah's Witnesses come knock at your door, they don't believe in Jesus and all of this and that. But I had a sixth grade substitute teacher. Me and him hung out. I didn't know he was a Jehovah's Witness.
Mm.
So one day I remember one day I don't know how it ended up, but it ended up knocking at my door, and my mom went home on a Saturday morning, and I talked to him, and I told him that I don't mind, what I'm saying, trying to understand and get their literature because I think it's idiotic to always shun something just because it's different, to not be able to in order for you to make a informative decision on anything, you're supposed to be able to take in what someone else is saying, and but if it is for you, then you are to utilize it how you see fit to utilize it. Well, anyway, one Saturday morning was a knock at the door, And when I opened the door, it was a Jehovah's Witness, but it was my substitute teacher. And I thought, I'm like, I know damn well I ain't did nothing wrong over the week for my teacher to be at the door. And he was
Right.
like, "Hey, Antonio, I didn't even know I was coming to your house." And I was like, "Nah," so he was like, "I'm with the Jehovah's Witness." And then I can remember hearing my mom in the background talking about some, oh, oh no, hell, no Jehovah's Witness ain't at my front door. And can y'all hear me, Tony?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
This is too much tonight.
I hear you.
I was hearing him too.
Yes.
I only thing I wonder about what we just listened to, I don't know, I didn't hear everything Legacy said, so I can't go and speak with him about that. But how will only the United States go away?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because the war will be against the United States. So when they're shooting at missiles, they're shooting them over here and nowhere else.
They're not going to be using missiles in World War III. They're going to be using nuclear weapons, and it's going to destroy the whole planet. Like that movie, I was just talking about that movie with Will Smith and his son, After Earth.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I really don't think that's going to even take place. I don't want to speak and give that the energy. We're about to sit here and start growing farms all over again. We're about to have a whole bunch of animals walking around. We're going to coexist, and we're going to be some very happy people.
Speaking of farms, I went and looked at my garden the other day. My cabbage, the head is so big, it's just getting bigger. I was like, oh
What
my
color are you
God.
growing?
What
The
color?
red,
Oh
or
no, it's green.
okay.
But because the cabbage grow like this big, and that's all leaves. But in that
Yeah.
center is that head, and it's forming its roundness. I was like, oh my God. So and I got like
You
two,
seeing the fruit of your work.
yes, I got like
Seed
two,
time and
two or three of
harvest.
them. I got like 2 or 3 cabbage heads out there. And on the
Well
kitchen
done.
counter, I saw a little bowl with some tomatoes in it. So somebody went out there and picked the tomatoes.
That's nice though, because that's showing that other people are paying attention and appreciating too.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time, but they're gonna start watering, picking the leaves off. It's gonna be it grows on people. Well, I talked about it
So
enough.
okay, look, and I'm hooked on it like crack.
Right, you got your whole mini grocery store. You need to go on and put on the side of the street a little table and sell little bowls of tomatoes, a head of cabbage. Open you up a little produce stand.
No, I'm only growing enough for the household.
I'm just saying, in due time. We're
If I had a
speaking of
back, if I
abundance.
now if I had a backyard, I probably would do that.
Where you gonna get the backyard then? Okay, abundance.
Yeah, we're gonna speak it into existence. Because if I had a full
Yes.
backyard, boy, I'd be out there every Saturday. Y'all better come get some of this
No,
stuff.
I know that's right.
I was trying to see if Legacy was coming back.
I thought he would come back too, but he also said he was tired of this mess. So he might call it a night.
I want to go ahead now and close this
But
out.
it's wild that would be you know, growing up when my mom was a teacher and an English teacher at that.
Mm-hmm.
Literary reading, that was something that we really was taught.
Right.
So I always saw the Bible as a fiction book, and that's
Mm-hmm.
something that's not real. A story
It
someone
even
wrote.
says in the book that it's allegory, and allegory is fake.
Right. So
It says it in there.
I always had a hard time following it. However, I also read other books that correlated with it. So it made it easier to follow it because it wasn't I'm following this book or this way of life. Or like this is the manual, the instruction, the only way. I saw
Correct.
it give me an option, but I also saw where it touched to the goodness, the good aspect of being. And I had
Mm-hmm.
a choice and I could choose, and it helped give me a way to choose and why to choose. It was that type of instruction. And I was thankful for it. But then you do read some parts. So like when we were talking about Don Allen and he was saying he didn't have that discernment. I thought to myself, there's a whole chapter in the book of Psalms called Psalms of
Mm-hmm.
music. So Don Allen just may be for music. He may very well not even realize that he's getting the word through the music, because that's a ministry in itself.
Right.
Now, when you look at that and see that as that, and then also see how others can benefit from so many different ways this book is written, but then it
Mm-hmm.
also depicts a story that ain't too good, like what they just shared. And I mean, with all that's going on, and to know the history of it was used to control and be a psychological weapon against people, it's, man, like that book there is like a why we got this book.
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
There we go. Yeah, I don't think he's coming back at all. I was listening, here in DC, they were talking about um, homelessness in different areas
Mm-hmm.
across, and how they were handling it, because they also, so many people were living in, putting the foreigners into the hotels and stuff, like Legacy was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this minister from Baltimore, and she was speaking on how much she does for people and in the community, and that the homeless issue should fall on the hearts of the clergy, and that there should be nobody that's in a church saying and not doing anything towards helping the people from homeless, because even the parents that are affected, the children are affected by their parents being affected.
True that.
And I think about how we talk about Elon Musk bringing his son into the office, and he's being exposed. And then I think you showed a video of him telling Trump he ain't like him, and so forth, and how kids get affected by the things that they are exposed to, but also
True.
what they're learning from their parents.
That's true.
Man, there was the police here literally went to the department, like there's a place, it's like called the Department of Peace, and told them people that they and forced them out, like fired them, and was there to escort them out. The police. So I remember us talking, and we were thinking like, okay, is are these people really gonna turn on their family? And I think about how they're switching people around different places. So like they're not all turning on their family because they don't live there. Mm-mm-mm.
Wow.
They're not from that area. So their family, that's not who they affected because they don't know those people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things she was saying, that there are so many people who are suffering from the government layoffs and so forth, that and they don't realize how much homelessness is going to be being created because of it.
True that.
So imagine we got all these people around here homeless, and then we go to war. And then famine kicks in because they don't, the people who died just on the street, just a lot of death on the street.
That's what's gonna happen.
Mm. So what you gonna do down in Florida? You know you can't build a bunker.
Right?
You gonna make a submarine?
Child, I don't know.
You say you don't know.
I'll figure it out. You know, God will give me a vision. I hope and pray. But my book should be released in about a month.
Okay.
My current book, God Made Us and Love Us. It should be out in a month or less.
This is the one that didn't need to be proofread.
Correct.
Okay.
Only thing I'm waiting for now, I gotta order and pay for my ISBN number. And the ISBN number, if I buy the number, is $125 for one, or $295 for 10. So I'm gonna buy the 10 because I'm working on 6 books right now. So it's cheaper and more logical and more smart to buy the 10.
Right.
So I'm gonna buy the 10 and assign the number to the book, one number to each book. And that way I own the rights to the book, and it always say that I own it. And plus, I could, with me owning the number, I could sell it through different platforms. Whereas if I publish it through Amazon and Amazon give me a free number, I can only sell it through Amazon.
Okay.
So that will limit my coins.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, if they give it to you just through Amazon, you can't use Amazon and go wherever you want to go to. Or the contract says only through them.
Well, because your book is sold through the ISBN number when they scan the number, and if I sell it through Amazon and Amazon give me a free number, that number belongs to Amazon.
Right, but you can. So you can have. Okay, my mom, when how she sells her books, she has multiple. Like that set's for Amazon. This set is a different one. So she can sell.
Right. That means she probably own her ISBN numbers then.
Yes, but she also does sell through Amazon. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You can
You
take
can sell
advantage
through
of both.
Amazon. You can sell through Amazon if you own your number. But by you owning your number, you can also sell through multiple platforms as well.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna buy my ISBN number this week, so that I can sell through Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles, as well as Ingram's, whatever's, you know, you know, just like 4 or 5 different platforms. But it's all
Okay.
gonna be sold under that same ISBN number, which I own.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
So it'll say like Anthony Brown Publishing, as opposed to if Amazon gave me the number, it'll say Amazon Publishing.
Gotcha. I understand what you're saying. I thought you were saying that you only could, if you got the number from Amazon, you couldn't do the other way.
No.
Gotcha. And so what I was thinking is, say you purchase 10 and Amazon gives you, that means you have 11.
But I wouldn't take the one that getting the free one from Amazon doesn't benefit me.
Okay.
Because again, the free one from Amazon, it shows that Amazon is the publisher and owns the publishing rights.
So there's a catch with that. And that's where a lot of people, I was, with like back to Angie Stone. And she was saying how they stole her stuff from her. But I listened to her video and I recall her saying that she worked for them. She was a writer for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't steal from her. She worked for them. She turned over her rights to them. And maybe that's why.
No. What wasn't that? No, what she said that she said it stole from her, because when they registered the copyrights for her songs that she wrote, I guess she thought that they were gonna create the copyrights as her being the writer, so that way she'll get royalties forever as long as that song is released or playing or on the radio or whatever. So she'll never stop getting paid.
No, I get that part, but I'm saying, okay, when she initially put it out and released it and wrote it, she wrote it for the company. And I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. How I understood it was she wrote it for the company. What you doing?
But based on what she was saying, she was the exclusive writer, so she should have got paid writers' royalties forever. Because there's something called a work for hire, meaning the company hired me. I wrote the book. I wrote my, and they paid me a lump sum, and I wasn't expecting nothing else. That's
right.
That's a work for hire. But she wasn't a work for hire, even though she wrote the songs for the company. She wrote them as she was the independent writer. Because I can still write for the company as an independent writer.
Gotcha. Well, there's a fire truck on this street. They light so bright.
Yeah, I saw it flashing in your car.
And I'm trying to back up, and I can't see behind me.
Well, back on up to you, some say boom.
Shoot, my neighbor looking out the door at me.
I'm going to try to release a book once a month until I get all 6 of them out.
A book once a month. Okay. Does it cost a lot to release a book?
It's just the cost of your copyright, which is like $20, $30. The cost of the ISBN number, which when you buy them in bulk, is like $30.
Okay.
So you're looking at $30
So
for
not to
the
publish it, the person who's publishing it isn't charging.
No, because when you publish it through like Amazon advertise and promote your book for you on their site, and they don't print it until it's sold. So like if you log in and you see my book and you click on buy, they print it that night.
So yeah, so that's what. Okay, my mom has Amazon. They do that, but she also has books. I have books. She has books.
Yes, I could also order. Give me 100 books in advance.
Oh, okay.
And as the writer, I get a discount.
Right. And then you can sell them yourself.
And then I can sell them for whatever.
Right. Okay.
So, for example, let's say if I sell the book for $10, and out of each sale I get 7, so that means Amazon is going to get 3. So I could say, well, Amazon, I want 100 books at $3 each, because they still got to get their $3. So I would get them at wholesale $3 each. So I would send them their $300. They would send me my 100 books. So I bought them for $3. Now I could sell them for $10 or $15 and autograph them. You see, lost a signal. There she is.
I'm back.
Here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Listen, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. I gotta close the show out because I gotta take Chanel for a walk. She's right here behind me. Keep moving around. I guess
All right.
ain't it right, Chanel? So I guess you're trying to tell me something. So
So you can find me here every Tuesday and Thursday on the ATL show. Tuesday we're 8:30 at night right now.
look.
Autographs cost extra. I know that's
I like that way of thinking. Well,
if you have anything you want to talk about health wise, holistic wise, and that includes your way of living, your job, your friends, what you eat, you hit me up enliventoyou.com, Facebook Miss Juicy, Instagram Miss Beautiful, and there's the email.
I just want to thank Donovan for coming on tonight. Donovan, he came in, he was on for the first 15, 20 minutes of the show. We appreciate you, Donovan. You can find Donovan at donovanphipps.com. Also, he's on Instagram at gphipslife. On Facebook at Donovan Phipps. So you can reach out to Donovan there. Also, Tiama, she's not with us tonight. She's getting ready to go out of the country on a trip to celebrate her husband's birthday. So Tiama Sweetness Harris, you can find her on Instagram at Tiama01, on Facebook at Tiama Copeland1. You can email her at justintime.accessories@gmail.com, or you can log on to her website and purchase some product at justintimeaccessories.com. Or for business purposes, you can reach out to her at 954-873-6659. And of course, my brother, little Shorty Doo-Wop, was having technical difficulties over there in the Cape Coral area. So Legacy the Great, you can find him on Facebook under Audreen Williams, on YouTube under Legacy the Great. Please email him at legacyunlocked.mail.com. You can reach him for advertising or for business purposes. And business, he does paralegal services where he can write motions for you. He could lower your child support, your custody, get you in court, get you out of court, right some of your wrongs or wrong some of your rights or whatever. But he is the man, and he's very knowledgeable when it comes to the law and getting things done. So you may want to reach out to Legacy, but you can reach him And he also handles the advertising for the show. So you can also reach Legacy at 229-630-7615 or his other cell phone, 561-907-9129. And I am yours truly, the hostess with the mostest. I'm Mr. Anthony Brown. You can find me on all social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube under Anthony Brown or The Anthony Brown Show. Also, I'm on Bigo under The Anthony Brown Show. Facebook, Anthony the Writer. Follow my page there with some very interesting information and updates as far as my books, my writings, and what's going on with me. Words I live by, and so should you, is you got to grind until you shine. For business purposes, for show ideas, comments, concerns, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, or whatever, you can reach out to me through text or phone call at 561-768-3710. Whew, that was a lot.
It sure was.
I tell you, I need a drink, a stiff drink now.
A stiff drink.
That was like that was like the church announcements. Woo.
I'm about to say, you mean a swig of water, or you need you some wine?
Well, here go my water right here. That's what I need. You know I don't drink.
I know. That's why I said, "Oh, for real."
Because look, I can just smell liquor and be drunk.
Whew, I'll drink it for you.
So we're going to end the show tonight, and we'll be back on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you all definitely tune in and share the lives, share the show, share the repeats, so the others can come on and see what we got going on over here and share the craziness with us, and so that the family can grow. We're on our road to 50,000 subscribers. So on that note, as my brother Legacy would say,
ATL, ho.
thank you for joining us.